case for the last year, right?
I mean, how much I've learned. I've been a marshal for 6 days.
Yeah.
And I'm literally still just digging things up.
And
there's so many holes that we don't know that I assume there's reports somewhere that we can't find.
So I'm going to give you the bad news first, which isn't the end of the world, but I think the context is needed. Is firstly, I don't think we stop looking because some things may be documented just poorly labeled, right?
Yeah, I mean, I found a ton of that where like they didn't link it back to being related, but I was able to take it and kind of link it.
And I'll provide a key example is after I spoke to Delta One, I asked some very like key questions for historical information. And first and foremost, the target that is likely to be killed. So first off, Dr. Stacy. Did I tell you about Dr. Stacy?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, well, apparently she told her therapist that the faceless took her on and blah, blah, blah. The therapist told V. Gray, but that therapist also told the other therapists. And I'm kind of like, bruh. Now, I know Dr. Stacy well. Quite frankly, I trust her more than the therapists because some of the therapists are like cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Last I spoke to them, where I just don't trust them. Their angle is very different. Their angle is my patient is my everything.
Sip tea.
Yeah. And so, firstly, I don't know why the therapist would tell other therapists. Like, surely that's not, like, you wouldn't need to do that, right? Like, hey, this woman's working for the faceless. Let me tell more people that don't need to know. Like, it's cooked. Secondly, Dr. Stacy genuinely is a caring person. And I say this not like I met her through her being a doctor, and she goes out of her way to make sure patients got what they need. And I don't in a million years actually believe she said, I'm going to go kill this person. No, she probably mentioned like, hey, they're making me do it. And those dumb fucks went and freaked out. Like, if I'm just going to be honest. Now, luckily, V came to me. Now, transparently, his wife is one of the therapists. So, but either way, however you chop it up, Dr. Stacy's outed, like at this point, right?
I mean, there's a good chance if she was supposed to be working for them, like with how things leak, the faceless might go after her.
I agree with you. I think that risk was already there. As a part of this, I noticed something. So we have something that we'll only refer to as a crystal ball. It is, let's just say I'm going to speak in between words a bit. Actually, you know what? Let's go out to Fort Zancudo so we can speak a little openly. It's one of those things that we're too close to electronics. But anyways, I spoke to Delta One. One of the patients that's in there, the one that works for Darkstone, is the likely target because we have intel suggesting that of the 3 contracts that we know of, 2 were paid out. And I noticed yesterday the first one was never completed, which means the job's not done. Fuck, it's the Darkstone VIP from the Vineyard.
It wasn't that Blackwell?
Yes.
He's dead.
Did he die in his sleep?
No, he died. He was that body we found, the DOA, but there was no report attached to it. And then that Oracle book that I was talking about a little bit ago was the one about his death.
Wait. Remind me here.
So Victor Blackwell was found dead.
No. This is the Vineyard VIP thing from the 8th. October 8th. They have very similar names.
Yeah, let me look it up because I can just look through the timeline on that date. It's actually been helping me a lot.
Oh my God, that timeline's huge. History is our biggest friend right now.
he's the guy who's diabetic.
Yes, has shellfish allergies.
Yeah.
Wait, how's that a bad word?
What? Blackwood. Marcus Blackwood.
Yes, he's currently in ICU. He never actually died.
Oh, okay, yeah, I remember that. Okay.
And so we're suspecting that is the target. However, according to V yesterday, whom got relayed this from the Sykes, it's Arthur. Which I'm trying to take this evidence as like very like loosely. Because we need to talk to doctors.
Like they're worried he's in our custody, so they just want to kill him? Because everybody else that ends up in our custody takes cyanide pills or something, so it could be they're trying to off him before we get a chance.
So the thing is, I want to like warily take this information because it could have been mistranslated. We need to hear from Dr. Stacy because last I spoke to her, she did not know the name, but then I wasn't here, you know, I took a day off. And then yesterday I didn't want to, I was just overwhelmed. It was like literally nonstop with a bunch of shit. So it's possible.
Okay.
Genuinely, you could make an argument that any one of the three that are currently in Marshall. Yeah.
Did you ever find out where Amanda Miller is?
So I asked about that. And that's a great question. I brought up the three individuals and I then brought her name up. She's alive.
Yeah, so I found in Gunnar Kane asked, they were questioning somebody and he's like, don't let them know she's alive, but ask about Amanda Miller. So,
well,
I just don't know where she is or what happened to her. Like, I assume she went into ICU, but there's no documentation. I assume they might have kept
I think the faceless have her.
You think so?
So, I want to key back to what's happening today. And I know there's going to be a lot of back and forth, right? As we get history, we still have to keep eyes on like the present, right?
Yep.
Well, there is notes in that book, the one I received yesterday, about Project something.
Yeah, the numbers. Yeah, and that's the one that Gunnar had documented through the chip that.
Yes, that's the crystal ball from here on out.
That's the crystal ball.
Yes. Okay. Reason is because like McAllister, we need to, I had to think long and hard on it. I think we just need him to be our bitch. And he is not to do anything outside of our, he can be, his situation can be trained out of him. I broke it down like this. Is the guy, he talks a lot. He doesn't.
So what exactly led to his suspension? I found out from Springfield this morning that he was suspended.
So he's first off is awake way too much. And he can be awake as much as he wants, just not on duty. That's the first problem because he isn't capable yet at the level that we're expecting, right? Most of us are like veteran cops. He's fairly fresh, right?
Yeah.
And to be blunt, what he was trained somewhere else is irrelevant here. Different culture, expectations, etc., etc.
Yep.
And so I think he is a hard worker. However, I noticed that he doesn't. He's a young kid, I think. So he does a lot of like interrupting, a lot of talking, but not a lot of listening, right?
Yep.
And I've, early on, I kind of just let it go to kind of assess him. But I'd notice like, he'd be like, oh, I know what you're talking about in advance of any possibility he would know what you're talking about. Like he may have a vague idea of what you're about to say, but he'll say he knows it, even though what you need him to do is like, listen to the fine details. Right.
Right.
So the second
I think he could be somebody like, for example, I'll talk to you at some point about all the wolf logos around. that could go out and like document it and find those and put together some of that stuff around the city that's more like documentation and just.
I agree.
We need somebody to go around, and I don't know I'm going to have a time, and it's not like a super priority.
Well, he was suspended because Blunt started working on the clearance levels that we want so that we can get PD access to certain files. Certain things will be like Marshall only, and some will be like hyper top secret. So like Dr. Stacy would be like clearance level 3, right? Because her life is on the line, and that's our responsibility. Well, this guy apparently immediately started talking to Remy about it, and then Remy kicked it up the chain. So
I feel like that shouldn't be too hard to set up. Like, I think I could set that up.
Yeah.
I've worked a lot in MDT where you would just create a rank of like clearance 1, and they would be able to access certain things.
Yeah, that's kind of what Blunt's looking to do. The only issue with that is you can't do multi-category searches.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the bit that we're kind of stuck on. And while we're waiting on our IT guy to get back from CringeCon, you know, just to be clear here, anyone that goes, it's not cringe, but holy fuck, some of the shit that happens down there, I you know, we gotta be careful.
I can only imagine.
Well, when he's back, that may be something I'm going to see if he's able to do. Like if we can give permissions by rank, right?
You definitely can, because I set up the original permissions
sorry.
in the MDT.
Sorry, by tag.
Oh, like they can access it.
So if
like,
it's possible where effectively, if
like
you
I know
have
you can
permission,
do it by report type.
Yeah, see, I want to try to avoid that. Like, we can if we need to. It's just going to make it a nightmare for
tracking.
Yeah, like imagine you open something up. You'd have to look at 5 categories in the morning to know what's up to date, and that's just not feasible for 99. So it's not a good user experience.
It's hard, yeah.
So I'm going to ask for a special permission if he's able to do it. And I'm trying to think of it simple. It's not, you know, where it's like, if you have this rank, you are excluded from seeing X, Y, and Z. If you, you know, have this rank, you can see these tags, right?
Yep.
So I don't actually think that's difficult to add, like, you know, from a database thing, you know, according to this manual I looked at. But I'm going to see if he could get something like that added, because then you can add clearance level 1, and if you've got the clearance, partial clearance tag, like, you'll see it immediately. I think, to me, that sounds
on
the
a side
best.
note, like Blunt took documentation of potentially Whiskey King, somebody who is like potentially bribing maybe somebody in the mayor's cabinet, believed to be Billy Strutt, putting hits out on people. Victor Smith was looking into it as well because it came to his attention. He had already subpoenaed a phone number. So he asked if he's okay to like look into that because the marshal made the report. I told him if it's a regular report, like you're good to go. It's fair game. Is that accurate?
Say that one more time. I'm still waking up, by the way. So
okay. Victor Smith, an officer, was looking into this guy, Whiskey King, had subpoenaed a phone already. Somebody reported to Blunt election fraud, also related to the same number. Blunt had left it a regular report, not a state marshal report. So I told Victor he's good to kind of use that report and do what he needs to do investigation-wise.
Oh, yeah. Gotcha.
Okay.
Sorry, Victor Blackwell, Blackwall, you know, Victor the cop. I was like...
But so I told him he's fair game to run with it, and that Blunt would reach out to him if he, you know, needed it.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's
I don't really see Blunt much, but I figured if it's a regular report, I assume Blunt was good with somebody else working on it.
Yeah, Blunt has been great. We got rid of Gunner's wife? ? Who's
Gunner's wife?
I don't know. Someone who hasn't been showing up. And then
what's her name?
I don't know. Jessica Whitehall? Maybe?
Okay.
I'd have to look at whoever's got
Never heard of
their
it.
keys removed recently. Just too much risk, to be honest.
Yeah.
Look, if she was around, it'd be another story. But like, I
would
broke it
actually
down
get
like,
better yourself.
well, yeah, exactly that. Like, I mean, for me, it's like this. I don't want this department to be massive, right? It's not especially not right now. We're still getting our bearings. We're behind. What the fuck? Oh, there we go. We're still getting our bearings. I'm still getting my bearings. There's all this shit on our plate, while I need to make sure our SOPs and whatever are tight. And and we've got the supervisor, bandwidth. Otherwise, we are going to snowball. Everyone's going to want their friends in the department, and we're just not going to be effective. Which, so if I did the same thing with Bell Tower. It's like, look, it's been 10 days. We haven't seen you once. You're going to be temp suspended until you come in. She ended up quitting, which all the better, to be honest. Saves me trouble.
Okay.
And on the flip side of things, we have some quality applicants. McNulty, as an example, is looking to transfer.
The only thing with McNulty, I know he's very much into faceless. Like, he's fully a patrol cop.
He's not, though. I mean, he is,
Okay.
but
I was
he's
gonna
an
say,
investigative type. I'll tell you right now,
Would he be somebody that could help mold the patrol cert?
Yes. I think, like,
'Cause he's a
between him and
solid
Luca,
cop.
Luca's like... Luca's a counselor, whereas, like, McNulty will just give it straight. They're like yin and yang, but in a good way. And the thing about McNulty is, like, he actually does patrol and not ping chase. And McNulty has been someone I've leaned on throughout the faceless stuff because he doesn't have, like, the emotional baggage. Well, he does. They took his
I was
eye.
gonna say, they're trying to blow him up.
He doesn't get, like, necessarily phased by it like others that I won't name do. And he's... Look, McNulty is someone that was on the faceless case for literally months, and I witnessed it, and then they cut him out. For what reason, I don't know, but he was left to his own accords, and he's been extremely helpful, and I think he's the kind of guy that, as we're behind the MDT planning some shit, he's the one that's going to notice some shit's going down. Like, for example, he's the reason we have Arthur in custody.
Oh, that's actually huge.
Yeah,
I mean, you need also somebody from the marshals to also, like, I feel like one marshal, one cop kind of leading some of these situations that as they're active would be good.
Yeah, if we told him, go and find this person or go sit in a fucking bush, he's going to do that shit. And he'll make sure whoever's on radio is, like, focused on capturing whatever. Do I need to pull him back a bit? Yes, but he has in the past. And he has not, he might complain in the moment, but, like, that moment is like 30 seconds. And then he does
what needs to be done.
Exactly that. So,
I trust McNulty a lot.
Yeah. So, another candidate is the individual that trained Blunt. He used to be in my department. Blunt says the way he speaks of him seems very solid. And that's a shift 1 to 2-er. I want to get 2 more marshals around shift 3 to 1 time frame. And maybe I'm going to lean on you on that.
Okay.
But I'll put it this way. Don't feel like we're in a rush. If we don't find a candidate, we don't find a candidate.
Yeah, when the right person's there, we'll jump on them.
Exactly. Yeah.
So really quickly this morning when I talked to Springfield, she filled me in on a little of the Lagara background she had.
Mm-hmm.
But she also mentioned, I was like, I know you're not going to be involved with the faceless stuff, but I just want to mention some names that if you come across, like, pique your interest, document if you can, and make sure you pass it on. So I was going through, like, faceless. Hold on, I can't even remember the names off the top of my head right now. The Oracle, NoSeco, which is like a weapon lab that had done a transport at some point, like Darkstone, JetSam.
Mexico or NoSeco?
NoSeco.
Oh, okay.
Nest, Epsilon Collective, and then I mentioned Wolf International, and she's like, the real estate company? I was like, to be honest, I don't know. I just know they're involved. Their logo was on some stuff, and she's like, yeah, they're a real estate company. There's
there's signs all over the place.
Real estate signs all over Mirror Park. So we went down in the Hydra cul-de-sac. There used to be one in front of some of those houses. They're no longer there.
What?
But the other cul-de-sac, we're actually right here. I'll show you. So there used to be some in front of the owned houses in front of Hydra that are no longer there. But then up here.
Oh, they removed those themselves.
So there's these ones that are here.
Yeah.
But also go up. She goes, oh, this has been built up into the right up there. And I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, they have like foundation, more wood. So that area is being actively built up in the past year.
Where are they? Behind us?
Yes. Utopia Gardens. This area, she said, these buildings weren't as built up. So they've been actively being built up in the past year.
I think she's misremembering.
She might be, but she said she was down here a long time ago. Like a year ago. Not like a long time ago. But these signs are also directly in front of it, so I documented it. Because it's something to keep an eye, because that is one of the logos that the Faceless defaced the seal with.
Do you know about the signs up here?
All the different nest ones?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I did notice, but I think having somebody checking if they're changing or things like that, I think would be huge. Just somebody constantly, I don't know, weekly, monthly, just going through and seeing if things are being actively done under our nose that we're just not aware of.
So let me show you some things. Before we do AC/DC, I'm still waking up. Let's look at that book real quick, because I can't get out of my mind that we're being shown something and I don't know what our timeline is for figuring out what that something is, because it could be today, right? So going back to the book I was given, right? Okay, let's presuppose, hold on, I'm gonna make it easier for me to talk. There we go. So if you look at this book, let's say it's Victor's, right? Because it just says Victor, so I'm more than likely it's Victor. But notice how this is Victor's their financier, right?
Mm-hmm. And he did talk a lot about like different funds. One thing that concerns me in here is Operation DOJ. How corrupt is the DOJ? And they can see every single report we have.
Well, I wouldn't jump to that conclusion just yet. Look, I don't necessarily believe, I can tell you for as long as I've worked with these folks that a good portion of the DOJ is on our side, especially as an entity, as they are the ones that are signing our, hidden warrants. They're the ones that are
which ones? The ones getting leaked or the ones not getting leaked?
Ruth, I don't want us to go down,
I know. I'm sorry. I'm getting paranoid.
You don't get paranoid. This is just a reality we live in, is that a good portion of the PD is going to be leaking shit because they're brain dead.
I was going to say they're not even intentionally. They just are dumb.
Well, then there's the portion that will do it maliciously, and there are elements of the DOJ that might as well, but we should be cautious to say the DOJ is, that is so when you look at this, right? So first let me address Operation DOJ. That's probably the bombing, more likely than not. 5.5 million.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
So really quick, that Hollow Trust, Hollow coin was found at Zancudo. So I don't know if that ties to that.
Oh.
That coin with those numbers. The numbers that you never came back to, 43, 14, 11, 03. I didn't know if you actually knew them.
There's a lot of numbers that have been showing up, like the crystal ball when you log in, those numbers translate to 10 steps ahead. The numbers that you just gave, which numbers are those related with?
They're the Zancudo transport. Where was that? That was Ryan Kane's transport. I can give you the report. Let me just find it.
Ryan Kane. Remind me, which one is Ryan Kane?
Ryan Kane is a guy who worked for JetSam. It is Charlie's brother.
Wait, the report literally just states a bunch of call signs. Success, because that's how I play Playa. That's the report.
Yeah.
Are you fucking serious?
That's the frustration that I've been digging through. But the actual report of his was I-17718.
17718.
But I was wrong. That was not the report I was thinking of. But this is Ryan Kane. Operation Loose Ends.
So let's look at this as like a more zoomed out perspective for a moment.
Yep.
So this is a financier, right? Gain 33% on page 1. On page 2, it's talking about forged passports, right? Like this is not even just a financier. This is like your shady accountant, right? Like,
yep.
You know, check in overseas bank accounts. It talks about investors, and that's a key bit that we want to sort of have in the back of our mind, because this isn't the first time I've heard about these investors. I even brought it up with Delta One, and he was sort of taken aback by it. And in addition, Lang has pointed me in this direction as well in a much previous conversation. Now, the reason I say that is this guy, this Victor individual, is everyone we've dealt with, whether it's like Delta One, the Faceless, etc. They may be like 2 stones away from these people. Victor, based on what's written in here, is clearly 1 stone throw away.
Yeah.
Now, my question becomes this. It states, need to find out about leaker, Oracle, Dark, or someone else. Now, you mentioned that Victor died because he was a leak, right?
Which doesn't make sense if he's looking for the leaker too.
Exactly. And in addition to that, you'll notice in the past reports, there's discussions by like Edgar. There's discussions like we're talking back in like the February time frame about some leaker, and we don't know what that leak is about. You know what I think the leak was about? This Project 324 GGSA. Because think about it. What would you, out of everything in every report, what is it that would need to be coveted, and what is it that is, it could be Project 324 GGSA. Everything else I doubt, like Project Dread Torrent and all that. Those are things that they've been pretty open about. What they're not open about is this project.
Right.
And whoever leaked it may know more. So figuring out that name is going to be huge.
One thing, back to that Hollow thing. This happened on April 14th, so around the same time frame, just a couple weeks after. I did find the report number for it. 22259. And that's the one with those numbers. There was a hollow coin that when shined under UV light showed a series of numbers, and that was those numbers.
What does it translate
And it had an
to?
owl on the front. No idea. That has not been figured out. 43, 14, 11, 03.
What are the let's crack it right now. What are the numbers?
43,
yep.
14, 11, 03. So it's 8 digits. What is 8 digits? Does it tie to something?
It could be the last 4 digits of a phone number, because notice all of them are like less than 10. So 7523. 7523. Let's run it through our phone subpoena real quick. I mean, I doubt that. Why would it be on a coin? But might as well.
Yeah.
7 5 2 3. Oh, it gets close. Opal price. No. Okay. It could be alphanumeric, right? So like number to letter. What would 43 be? Actually, 43 is too much, right?
Yeah.
Hashtag NKC. Could you note this down? Hashtag NKC. And then 7523. And the reason for notation is like this could be like a crate number, you know what I mean? And so just having it written down, we might drive by something and notice it. I don't know what else. The 03 is the one that throws me off because 03 seems to me. What if this is a color code? Color codes are 8 digits. But there's no letters, so it's unlikely, but I'll do it anyways. Every goddamn website with color codes is fucking trash. 43. 14.
Do we have somebody that's really good at cracking stuff like this as a marshal?
I think as a collective, yeah, we are. I don't think we have anyone that is in particular a good cracker. I think it's whoever. Wait, what the fuck?
So this also talks about money. Could it be something money related?
How much is our bank account numbers?
I have no idea.
It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Don't they? I don't know if they all start with 6. JJ's,
oh, they do.
I know starts in 6 because I've been staring.
4. Wait, good call. 6 is personal bank account. Oh, this is what it used to be back in the day. The numbers. Let me go check. Back in the day, the first number indicated the account type.
Oh. If we go to the bank, I still have access to like an old PD one that was created a long time ago. That might. I can check that number.
Everything is 6.
Yeah, everything starts with 6.
I think the second number 6-1, I think is personal. 6-4.
What was the number?
4-3.
Do we try to transfer?
Don't try it. Don't try it.
I know, I'm not.
Abdul, I will throw you in cuffs.
What do you mean by throw me in cuffs?
Arrest you.
Rescue?
Arrest you. It's felony obstruction.
Wait, this is a police car.
Yes.
I couldn't tell. Oh, wow. Look at that.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Have a good day.
God,
Oh.
There's a half a clamp on.
Hold on.
I didn't see it there. All right.
There you
It
go.
was only half a
All
one.
right.
Try to drive. Try. Okay.
All right.
Oh,
you
now
take
it
care.
works.
Damn fucking vulture, Jesus.
2 seconds we were inside. Yeah, even the old PD one I had is a 6.
I think you're right. Wait, what is your, if you open up your phone and hit the blue details button?
Yep. Oh, my bank account's a 6 as well. So the only thing is, what about, no, because is PD a business? Like,
well, what's your bank account number? Is it, actually, you know what? Forget it. I'm ADHD going in a completely different direction. Sorry, go ahead.
Mine starts with 617.
So it is 6-1. Okay, that is good to note. So 6-1 is personal. 6-4 is business.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's a very similar to how it used to be back in the day, just slightly different. Okay. Well, let's put that on pause for a second. I want to...
Okay. I wrote that on the book. I'm just making notes that we're talking about on the bottom and kind of what track we're going.
The next thing that's very key here, and I haven't figured it out. Well, the first is take flight to Investor HQ. That is... that implies the investors are definitely not here in San Andreas, right? Where is Ryan Keeger? Keeger dies after February, right?
Yep. No, he dies, I think. We don't even know if he's dead. He could still be alive, I believe.
I thought there was a DOA report on him.
No, that was Blackwood. He was kidnapped the 8th. So he was transported the 8th.
We need a person's document.
At the top of my timeline, it's there. That's what I just looked at.
Ooh, okay. I think like who's who, you know, like photo, name.
I might pull that into its own full report.
Agreed.
I feel like that's
100% agreed. Because there's like
I'm gonna take the whole
so many fucking names, and there is a lot of like obscure names as well, like you know, like Michael with like 2 Ks and shit. So then comes this next bit. And this, I think I would like to check out right now. Let me put all this onto my second cell phone so I can drive and talk at the same time. Container location, Port of Los Santos, Buccaneer Way docks. Okay, the Port of Los Santos, Buccaneer Way docks. I asked Delta One about this. The reason I brought it up to him is because he started talking, because I was asking about like the weapons, right? So couple tidbits. Let me rewind. There's so much information. I'm trying to figure out where to start. The David Miller was a U.S. military weapons contractor, like engineer, sorry. The one that was killed. And then it was like his son.
What name did you just say?
It was like David Miller,
okay.
the three Miller family.
He was the weapons engineer of the U.S. government. February, March.
Based on the timeline, everything, he is likely one of the ones that was like where the class 2 weapon blueprints likely stem from. Right? You with me?
Okay. Yep.
And
so I did create a report. It's names of interest.
Ooh, okay.
That has all my information on the people.
There was another name, and I may get some of these names wrong. I have to go back. Like I said, this is like late last night.
A lot of them have reports next to them, so we can like go back to figure some things out.
Perfect. There was a VIP that we learned of after the fact, a scientist, and the Faceless captured her. It was one in which McNulty was watching the Faceless house, and then because he saw a bunch of cars there, Brandon Valentino, Benji Ramos, Ray Romanov. The name will be somewhere in the report. The name's escaping me right now.
In which report is it?
It's gonna be some incident from like 2 months ago, but there was
I don't think there's a name in the report because I would have it documented.
It's somewhere in the spaghetti of reports.
Okay, I'm writing woman weapons lady.
Yes. She was captured by the Faceless, and the suspicion is So the marshals never told us about it. There may be some notes in regards to it, but she ends up getting kidnapped and taken, and we did not focus on getting her. Why? Because we didn't know it was happening. It sort of happened in the moment. Darkstone tried to assist. We were very confused. We ended up like redirecting to a 13 alpha and prioritizing it, which makes sense under normal conditions, but would not have been under our operation.
Right.
She is likely the source of SMGs that are to come or have started to trickle in. So the reason I'm sort of putting this in front of you is to note that there's a lot of shit that's probably gone unseen, undocumented. Now, as I was discussing this and discussing like an operation in which law enforcement and Darkstone went and found a container with a bunch of rifle bodies, Delta One was pretty insistent to suggest that we didn't find it as much as the Faceless gave it to us, because the thing was booby trapped. And even though PD went into a meeting, they're like, haha, we found these, so
rifles. So that's what Blake Cole was bragging about helping us with.
Possibly, yeah.
That's the exact number of times, and that's what they keep coming back to on this whole, like, JetSam docs.
Yes. While I was discussing that with Delta One, I figured that this Buccaneer Way thing was a part of where those weapons were. When I brought it up, he got kind of sussed out. And that's when he mentioned that there's 3 assets noted in the crystal ball. Do you have access to the crystal ball?
I do not.
Okay, I'm going to show that to you in a moment, though. I'll just tell you what's on there. On there, you see Charlie as an operative, Arthur Rain as an operative, and then the second guy, which we'll leave blank for the time being. Delta One.
Blank?
We'll leave blank just because I don't remember the name, right? Like there's.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's like one's like an assault specialist, one's like a recon, and then there was like a third one. His name, I haven't seen it anywhere. We'll look at it later. But the reason I point those out is those are 3 like direct associates to the Faceless, right? They're like direct assets. They're foot soldiers. They're operators. And then you've got these assets, like whether it's like Shang or whether it's like Brandon Valentino. Delta One, when I mentioned Buccaneer Way, he made note to me that there is an asset whose name that we probably don't even know about that operated out of that area. He was very mysterious about it. Okay.
I have an idea of somebody I discovered looking through reports. Phoenix. So Phoenix was somebody who was documented. Anita Maxim must have been working for Blackstone in some of the early Blake Cole situations. There was a guy they called Phoenix. Opal, during the masquerade party, said she found the person named Phoenix. Phoenix was somebody who was arrested and executed in prison, according to Opal. There was a guy, Preston, who was arrested and executed in prison by Edgar & Co. He went up on a 24-hour hold, and the people that he worked with on that killed him. So I don't know if that's the right person, but the fact he had a code name named Phoenix.
This point of person of interest list is going to be huge for that. You know what I mean?
He's on there right now, and I have those exact notes onto him. So that's the only thing is you say that, like, how many people have had a code name? So that's why I noted Phoenix down. He wore red and black. So I have like multiple reports of him sighting. And
what
then
is that? 911? Oh my! I think I just saw 2 people get shot and buried by a campsite off Cassidy. Could be local PD shit, but
yeah. Oh, I found a bunch of stills. I was looking through the Buccaneer docs a little bit because it noted down there, and looking through JetSam, trying to look one to JetSam. Found a bunch of moonshine stills, but I didn't really care. I'll pass it on to PD at some point to deal with.
On the crystal ball, there's multiple photographs of the Rooster's Rest. as well as a
Yeah,
very
I went
odd
through.
photo.
So through that, those were the Sky Node stuff. There's the back of the Rooster's Rest was a lot. Also, Gunnar had mentioned something about orbs, and there was 3 orbs. One in Purgatory, one in the Guilds, and one unknown, and he had mentioned Rooster's Rest. I don't know what the orbs are, if that's anything you've come across.
I have mildly? Wait, what do you mean?
There's just a note, and he thought that Rooster's Rest was a 3rd orb, but I can't find anything talking about orbs, so I have no idea what he means by orbs. I don't know if that's some like Norman Bones shit or if that's
I think that's Norman Bones shit. As someone who's visited some aspects of it, the Norman Bones stuff can. There's also Gunnar being Gunnar.
Yeah. Also, old faceless documents. He had a crow. Oh. It was a crow instead of an owl. I dug up some old Asher Murphy's Humane Labs ID.
Asher Murphy.
She's a doctor that worked for Faceless.
Man, these names are, there's so, I'm naturally just really bad at names.